there, let's discuss the cheapest and easiest ways to own multiple properties. What attributes to look for? And what are the financing options? So I think the easiest way is to purchase a property owner occupied. You're gonna live there. And the reason is you have the best financing terms, the lowest down payments, and the best interest rates. Not to mention that when you're owner occupying a property, they will allow for greater debt ratios. And debt ratios are basically your affordability, right? What is your house payment and all of your debts? And in owner occupied loans, especially FHA loans, we can go very, very high in the debt ratio, up to 57 in a lot of cases. When you are purchasing that first property, in the loan documents that you sign that you're gonna live there. And occupancy is determined by usually the intent to live there for 12 months. That's not to say you're gonna be a prisoner to this house and by law you have to live there. But if you want to turn around and buy another property owner occupied, you need to be in that one house for 12 months. It's kind of like a general rule. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is basically rinse and repeat. You're gonna take those steps over and over again to amass your rental portfolio. And the reason is the financing. Financing on owner-occupied properties is so wonderful. Typically, when you purchase your first home, you're gonna be doing it with some kind of a program, low down, unless you just mysteriously have a lot of money, then good for you. But most people, do 3 to 10% down on their first property. While you're living there, you're saving additional money so that when you depart that residence and rent it out, you have money 5% down for your next property. Usually you can only have one FHA loan at a time. There's all kinds of little nuances to it, but just remember, the first property, the lowest down, possibly even a buyer program. The second property, you're gonna wanna target to put 5% down. And you just take those steps over and over again. One thing I see people doing a lot and misstepping is you have to be strategic about this. So when you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna own, let's say you have a goal, you wanna own, let's say 2 or 3 properties, right? So the first property, you're looking for these attributes, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The attributes are 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage. Think middle America. What is going to be the easiest to rent out? What are most people looking for? Most people are looking for an affordable place to rent in a nice neighborhood. You want families. You want a mom, a dad, and a kid. You want people with long rental histories. A lot of times when you're renting out these bigger places, these 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes that are huge, people like that often buy. And so when you're thinking of renting, you want long-term, less turnover. Less turnover is less money. When you move somebody out of a 1,200 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage home, it might cost, $5,000 to $7,000 to do a turnover. If you're turning over a huge house, a 3,000 square foot house, that could cost $15,000 to $20,000 to get another tenant in there. Also, another important consideration is no pool. No pool. You may want a pool. It may be your dream to have a pool, but no pool on this house because pools cost more money to maintain and you have the liability. And not just maintenance, you have to pay for a pool guy. There's also pool equipment and they're just huge pains in the rears. And I know that from personal experience. I have a house right now that has a pool and I can't tell you how many things go wrong with it. And I carry a $1 million liability policy on that home, which also adds to the cost. So when you're thinking strategically about executing this plan of owning multiple properties, remember, you want to keep it as simple as possible and nice as possible. And what do the most amount of people want in a home? If you buy like a 1 bedroom or a 2 bedroom, those are going to be affordable, right? But think about who rents a 1 bedroom. People that are transitory, people that are somewhere for a short time. Single people get boyfriends, they get married, and then they move. So that's another consideration. Sometimes you don't have a choice because I would strongly recommend against a 1 bedroom. A 2 bedroom, maybe, but you really want to stay in that space, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Apply that formula and you're going to have great success. My name is Teresa Tims. I'm the broker owner of TDR Mortgage and Real Estate Group. I've been doing real estate and home loans since 1998, and I've made it a point to be a single family home investor. It's one of the biggest wealth building activities that I've ever done. I was a late bloomer in terms of investing in my brokerage account or my 401k, and I started going to investment seminars. If you want to learn about how to become an investor, you need to learn about property management. Nobody cares about properties like you do. And when you're first starting out, you need to know all this stuff. You need to know how to execute contracts. You need to know how to set expectations. You need to know how to maintain property. So go find these investor groups that are out there all over Southern California and spend some time, network, and learn from these people. So we covered the easiest ways to own multiple properties. We covered what attributes to look for in a home. Now let's cover the financing. So when you're purchasing an owner-occupied home, like I mentioned earlier, you can get in with a low down payment. Now let's say you went out and you bought a house that this is your end-all house, you don't want to move, and you want to buy another investment property. You're going to be looking at putting 20 to 25% down on an investment property. That's why my strategy of buy something low, do another purchase, put low down, and do that multiple times is going to be a more affordable and achievable thing than if you buy that house and then try to rent property. And the reason why investment property, the lenders, there's more risk, higher rates, and more down payment. Financing on investment properties, you need really high credit scores. You need that 20 to 25% down that I spoke of, and you need reserves in the bank. And you're going to have to show all of your income qualifying documentation. If you are a regular W-2 wage earner, we're going to need a couple years taxes, W-2s, pay stubs. If you're self-employed, we're going to need all of that, and your corporate returns, and or if you're just a regular Schedule C filer, we're going to look at all that. Self-employed people typically write things off. Self-employed people will need to also do some kind of alternate financing, like a debt service loan, DSCR loan. So there are options out there, but if you don't use my easiest strategy to acquire multiple properties, you're going to be looking at having to come in with a lot of money. I've been doing investment loans for people for 22 years, since 1998. I know all the tricks, I know all the strategies to create and build wealth. Pick up the phone and call me, 909-920-3500, or text. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment on the video below. Ask me questions. I'm curious to know what you think and what your thoughts are. Have a beautiful day.